Hey everyone! Welcome back to English Podcast Journey, your favorite place to level up your listening and speaking skills in a fun, real way.
Today we're tackling a super important topic: how to listen better. Not just in English, but in any conversation. Because if you want to understand native speakers, podcasts, movies, or even your teacher, you need good listening habits.
Exactly, and don't worry, we're not going to give you boring textbook tricks. We're sharing 10 real-life, simple tips that actually work, plus examples from our own lives so you can copy and use them right away.
So grab your headphones, get comfy, and listen carefully to this whole episode. We promise, by the end, you'll have practical ways to become a better listener starting today.
Let's jump in. Here comes our first listening tip. All right, Jack. Let's kick this off with tip number 1 for becoming a better listener. And honestly, it's the foundation of everything else. The first thing you absolutely need to do is give your full attention. So many people think they're listening, but in reality, they're only half listening while their mind is jumping to other thoughts.
You're right, Emma. I've done that myself so many times. Like someone is talking to me and in my head, I'm thinking about what to cook for dinner or what message I need to reply to later. And then when they finish, I realize I missed half of what they said.
Exactly, it happens to everyone. But here's the thing. Your brain can't truly understand and remember English or any language is if you don't focus 100% on the words, the tone, and even the pauses. So a good practice is to put away distractions. When you're listening to a podcast like this one, or talking to someone in English, try to close other apps, silence your phone notifications, and really look at the person or focus on the audio.
Yes, and a good trick that helps me is repeating little parts in my head. If you repeat a phrase while you hear it, your brain stays engaged. It's like your mind can't wander off. Plus, repeating helps with pronunciation too. So you're training 2 skills at the same time: listening and speaking.
I love that tip. Another thing is to ask yourself questions while listening. Like, what is the main point? Or what example did they just give? If you do that, you naturally stay more present. So to everyone listening now, try this today. For the next few days, challenge yourself to listen to someone with 0 distractions, not even looking at your phone. You'll be surprised how much more you understand.
Absolutely. Giving your full attention is simple, but so powerful. Master this first step, and your listening skills will grow faster than you think. So, Emma, now that everyone knows they need to give their full attention, what's tip number 2?
Tip number 2 is really important. Jack. It's about not getting stuck trying to understand every single word. Many English learners panic when they hear a new word or a word they miss. But good listeners focus on the main idea first. It's about getting the big picture, not every tiny detail.
That's such a game changer. I remember when I started listening to French podcasts, I used to pause every 5 seconds to look up a word in a dictionary. It slowed me down so much and made me frustrated. But when I started focusing on the general meaning, I actually enjoyed it more and learned faster.
Exactly. And here's the thing. Native speakers don't catch every single word either, even in their own language. Our brains naturally fill in the gaps when we understand the context. So when you listen in English, try to catch the topic, the emotion, and the key words. Ignore the ones you don't know for now.
Yes, and another tip: try to guess the meaning of new words from the situation. For example, if someone says, "I grabbed my umbrella because it was drizzling," maybe you don't know drizzling, but you can guess it has to do with rain.
Good point. So to practice this, choose a short podcast episode or a video, listen once without stopping, and then ask yourself, what was the main point? Write down 3 things you understood, not word for word, just the main ideas.
And don't worry about mistakes. The goal is to train your brain to relax and listen naturally. Understanding the big picture will help you enjoy English more and stress less about every unknown word.
Absolutely. So remember, everyone, next time you listen, focus on the main message. You'll be surprised how much more confident you feel. All right, Jack. Now for tip number 3, and I really love this one because it works so well for visual learners. If you want to improve your listening, use visuals whenever you can.
Yes, I totally agree. When you connect what you hear to what you see, it's much easier for your brain to understand and remember. It's like watching a movie with subtitles. You're not just listening. You're also reading and watching the action, so your brain has more clues.
Exactly. And you don't even need a fancy app to do this. Just choose videos with clear subtitles in English. For example, watch a YouTube vlog or a TED Talk, where you can see the person's face and read the subtitles at the same time. This way, you pick up new words and notice how they pronounce them.
Also, pay attention to their body language and facial expressions. Sometimes a gesture can explain a word you don't know. If someone says, "I was so exhausted," and they roll their eyes and drop their shoulders, you instantly get the meaning of exhausted, even if you've never heard it before.
That's so true. Another fun idea is to watch cooking videos or travel vlogs. These usually have lots of actions and visuals to match the words. It makes listening practice less boring and more like an adventure.
So here's a quick challenge for everyone listening. Pick a 5-minute video. Today, something with clear visuals and subtitles, and watch it twice. First, watch with subtitles on. Then, turn them off and see how much you understand just by listening and watching.
You'll be surprised how much more you catch the second time. This builds your confidence and helps you rely less on reading and more on real listening.
So remember tip 3. Add visuals when you listen and turn every video into a listening lesson. Okay, Emma, we're on tip number 4 now. This one is a personal favorite of mine because it trains your ear in short, manageable chunks. The idea is to practice active listening with short audio or video clips.
Yes, I love this too. Many learners feel overwhelmed when they try to listen to a long podcast or a full movie. But if you break it into smaller pieces, like just 1 or 2 minutes, it's much easier to focus deeply and notice details.
Exactly. So what do we mean by active listening? It's when you listen with a clear goal, not just passively letting the words wash over you. For example, choose a short clip, maybe from an interview or a series. Listen to it once without stopping, just to get the main idea.
Then listen again, but this time pause after every sentence. Repeat what you hear out loud. Try to copy the speaker's tone, speed, and pronunciation. This shadowing technique is super powerful because it trains your brain and your mouth at the same time.
And don't be afraid to replay the same clip many times. Every time you listen, you'll catch something new. Maybe a word you missed or a phrase you didn't notice before.
Another tip is to write down a few key phrases you hear. Keep a notebook just for this. After a week, look back and you'll be amazed at how much you've collected.
So here's your mini task. Pick a 1-minute video today, listen actively, shadow it, and write down at least 3 interesting phrases.
Active listening in short clips builds focus and helps you speak more naturally. So don't skip it. Make it a fun daily habit.
That's tip 4. Ready to move on to the next listening secret?
All right, Jack. We're halfway through, and tip number 5 is something I wish more learners would try. If you really want to become a strong listener, you have to get used to different English accents.
Yes, that's so true. Many people only listen to American or British English, but in real life, people speak with all kinds of accents: Australian, Canadian, Irish, Indian, and even regional differences inside the same country.
Exactly. I've met students who could understand their American teacher perfectly, but when they heard a Scottish or Australian speaker, they panicked and couldn't catch anything. It's totally normal at first, but you can train your ear for it.
One fun way is to watch movies or shows from different countries. For example, try watching an Australian travel vlog one day and a British cooking show the next. Notice how certain words sound slightly different, but the meaning is the same.
Podcasts are amazing for this too. There are so many free podcasts with hosts from around the world. Even listening for 10 minutes every day will help you recognize new pronunciation styles and local expressions.
And don't stress if you don't understand everything. The goal is to expose your ears to a variety of sounds. Over time, your brain adjusts naturally. You'll start hearing patterns and connecting them to familiar words.
Here's a fun mini challenge for everyone. This week, find 3 short videos from speakers with different accents. Watch them without subtitles first. Try to write down what you understand, then watch again with subtitles to check.
Great idea. Learning to listen to different accents builds confidence for real life conversations, because you never know who you'll meet or talk to.
So keep it fun. Explore English from every corner of the world. Your listening skills will thank you for it.
Okay, Emma, now for tip number 6. I think this one really turns listening practice into speaking practice too. It's all about repeating and imitating what you hear.
Absolutely, Jack. A lot of learners just listen quietly and think that's enough. But your brain needs to practice producing the sounds too. When you repeat words and sentences out loud, you're training your ears, your mouth, and your memory all at once.
Right? It's like learning a song. You don't just listen to your favorite song and magically remember all the lyrics. You sing along many times until it sticks.
Exactly, and you don't have to repeat long sentences at first. Start with short phrases that you hear in podcasts, movies, or even in this episode. Pause the audio, say the phrase out loud 2 or 3 times, and try to copy the speed and the emotion.
One trick I use when I learn new expressions is to stand in front of a mirror while repeating them. It feels silly at first, but seeing yourself speak helps build confidence. You can also check if your mouth moves like the native speaker's mouth.
That's a great idea. Another tip is to record yourself. Play it back and compare it with the original. You'll notice small differences in pronunciation and intonation. Over time, you'll sound more natural.
So here's a challenge for everyone listening. Pick your favorite short clip in English today. Pause it line by line and repeat each line 3 times. Do this daily for just 10 minutes and you'll feel a big improvement.
Yes, repeating and imitating helps. You feel more comfortable speaking and makes listening easier because you know how real spoken English sounds.
So don't just listen quietly. Repeat, imitate, and have fun with it.
Okay, Jack. Now let's share tip number 7. I think this one is super practical, especially for beginners. It's about slowing down the audio when you need to.
Yes, this tip is a lifesaver. Many learners feel embarrassed about doing this because they think they should understand everything at normal speed. But there's no shame in slowing down. A podcast or video to catch every word more clearly.
Exactly. Almost every app now, like YouTube or podcast players, lets you adjust the speed. You can try 0.75 or even 0.5 speed if the speaker talks really fast. This gives your brain a little extra time to process each word and sentence.
And here's the cool part. When you listen at a slower speed, you can pay more attention to pronunciation, linking words, and even the speaker's tone. It's like studying English under a microscope.
That's true. And once you feel comfortable with a slow version, listen again at normal speed. You'll be amazed at how much you understand because your brain already knows what's coming.
This is also great for new learners who get frustrated easily. Instead of giving up on a fast podcast, slow it down, take your time, and enjoy it without stress.
Exactly. And don't forget, real conversations might be fast, but practicing slowly first builds a solid foundation. You can speed up later when you feel confident.
So here's today's mini task. Pick a podcast or YouTube video in English. Listen to it once at normal speed, then slow it down and listen again. Notice how many new words and sounds you catch.
Slowing down is not cheating. It's a smart strategy. So use it anytime you need extra help understanding native speakers.
That's tip 7. Ready for tip 8?
All right, Jack. Let's move on to tip number 8. This is one that really changes the game for many learners. It's all about focusing on keywords instead of trying to catch every single word.
Yes, this is so important. Many people think they have to understand every tiny word when listening to English. But the truth is, even native speakers don't catch every word. We listen for the main ideas, the important words that tell us what's happening.
Exactly. So when you listen to a podcast, a news clip, or even someone talking to you, relax your ears. Don't stress about missing little words like the or and. Instead, focus on the nouns, verbs, and adjectives. Those give you the meaning.
For example, if someone says, "Yesterday I went to the new Italian restaurant with my friends and we tried delicious pizza and pasta," you don't need to remember every word. Just catch yesterday, Italian restaurant, friends, pizza, pasta. Now you know the whole idea.
Yes, this makes listening less tiring too. If you try to translate every word in your head, your brain will get tired and you'll lose focus. But if you listen for keywords and phrases, your mind stays relaxed and you understand faster.
Here's a good practice. When you watch a video, write down 3 to 5 keywords for each sentence or paragraph. Afterward, use those keywords to tell the story back in your own words.
This helps you remember the main points and also improves your speaking. It's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
So remember tip 8. Listen for the keywords, not every single word. It makes listening more fun and less stressful.
Great. Tip 8 is done. Ready for tip 9? All right, Jack, we're almost at the end. Tip number 9 is something I always recommend to my students. It's combining listening with reading.
Oh yes, this is a great method. Especially if you feel like listening alone is too challenging. When you read the text while listening, your eyes and ears work together. This makes it easier to connect the sounds to the words.
Exactly. For example, you can find a podcast episode that has a transcript or subtitles. First, listen and read at the same time. Notice how the words are pronounced and where the speaker pauses.
And don't just read silently. Try whispering or reading out loud while listening. This helps your brain link the written word with the spoken sound, which improves your pronunciation too.
After you do this a few times, try listening again without reading. See how much you understand. You'll often feel a big improvement because you already know what the speaker is saying.
Another idea is to use videos on YouTube with subtitles. Watch with subtitles first, then turn them off and watch again. This way, you test your listening skills and also pick up the correct spelling of new words.
Yes, it's also helpful to highlight or write down new phrases from the transcript. Later, practice saying them without looking. It's a simple but powerful way to build your vocabulary.
So here's a mini challenge. Find a short audio with a transcript today. Listen and read together once or twice, then listen without the text. You'll feel more confident and catch more details each time.
Combining listening and reading is one of the best ways to train your brain to understand English naturally.
Perfect, that's tip 9. Shall we finish strong with tip 10?
Okay, Jack, we've made it to tip number 10, the final tip for today's episode. I think this is the most important one. Make listening a daily habit.
Absolutely. Emma. Many learners listen to English once or twice a week and hope to get fluent fast. But the real secret is doing it a little bit every single day. Consistency always wins.
Exactly. Even 10 to 15 minutes daily can change your listening skills. So much faster than doing 2 hours once a week. It's just like working out. Short daily exercises are better than a big workout once a month.
And the good news is you can easily add listening to your normal day. For example, listen to an English podcast while you're cooking or doing chores. Play an English song when you're walking or driving.
Yes, and it doesn't always have to be serious study time. Enjoy it. Watch funny YouTube videos, listen to interviews with your favorite celebrities, or follow travel vloggers. The more interesting it is, the more you'll stick with it.
I tell my students to treat English listening like brushing your teeth. You don't think about it, you just do it every day. It becomes automatic and easy.
Here's a simple challenge for everyone. Starting today, promise yourself you'll listen to English for at least 10 minutes, every day for the next 30 days. No excuses, no skipping.
Keep a notebook or use an app to note what you listen to each day. After a month, you'll feel so much more comfortable understanding native speakers.
So that's tip 10, the power of a daily habit. Small steps every day lead to big results.
You've got this! Keep listening, keep learning, and enjoy the journey.
And that brings us to the end of today's special episode, all about how to listen better and truly enjoy the process of understanding English like a native speaker. We hope you found these 10 tips helpful and easy to start using right away.
Remember, listening is not just about your ears. It's about training your brain, your mouth, and your confidence at the same time. Every small effort counts. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Start today with even one tip.
Exactly. And don't feel pressured to master everything in one day. Choose 2 or 3 tips to focus on this week. Then add more as you get comfortable. This way, learning stays fun and never feels overwhelming.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please do us a favor. Hit the like button and share it with your friends who also want to improve their English listening skills. It really helps us reach more learners like you.
And we'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell us which tip you're going to try first, or share any other listening tricks that work for you. We might feature your idea in our next episode.
Also, if you haven't done it yet, make sure to subscribe to our channel, English Podcast Journey. We bring you easy, natural conversations like this to help you practice real English anytime, anywhere.
So keep listening, keep repeating, keep enjoying, and never stop exploring new ways to grow your English skills. We believe in you, and we're so proud to be part of your journey.
Thanks for spending your time with us today. Take care, keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next episode.